You would never know if you watched anything on regular conventional TV. You would never know how exciting these times were. You would never know. You would think nothing is happening. You would think nothing is happening. Just look at the drivel. Look at the nonsense that's being provided. Look at the nonsense that's being provided on regular conventional TV and regular conventional news. And how nothing is there. Nobody is behind you. Nobody's representing you. Nobody cares about what you think. Nobody's even remotely talking about anything. Name one. Name one person. One. Name one. In the scheme of things, who was talking about anything even remotely exciting. Anybody. Go ahead. Take your time. Take your time. I can think of anybody. Nobody. Name anybody. Anybody anywhere who's talking about anything that's even remotely interesting to you. Trump. And Trump could be doing better. But Trump. Who else? Who, honest to God, is talking about this? Nobody. And the reason for it is because American politics is so bloody boring. It's so inane. It's so stupid. It's so dull. It's so usual. My God, it's so boring. This is one of the reasons why people don't like it, is because it's boring. There's nothing to get into. What do you, where is this? I was watching something. It was Newt Gingrich. Newt Gingrich. It's nice. There are some people on TV. Maria Bartiromo, Fox News, Larry Kudlow, go down. It's like watching Lawrence Welk. That's music. It's kind of nostalgic. That was your grandmother's music. Doesn't do anything for me. The stuff that matters to me is not even on, it's not on the radio. Nobody's playing my music. Nobody's playing this. Nobody. It's the same stuff. It's nonsense. What I want to talk about is deep, and it's dark, and it's scary, and it freaks people out. And the best part is nobody knows what I'm talking about. They don't even know what I'm talking about. They think I'm crazy when I'm talking about this. Right now, I'm telling you right now, one of the things, if I was a president, I wouldn't last a minute. But one of the things I would want to know is, I want to know, because I'm the president, is there or is there not weather manipulation, whether the weaponization of weather, what is being done regarding that? Wouldn't you go crazy if I did that? How many of you wonderful people would go absolutely nuts? Before you answer that, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell. You know the story. You got to like this. You got to like this. This is it. Our metrics depend on you. You got to hit that YouTube notification and get, for new stuff. Also, keep in mind, this is the public stuff. But lionelmedia.com is where I go a little bit. Because what I do is I always have a song. I did a piece here today on tubular bells. I bring up people like Kenny Vaughn. I bring up Javan and great works with Janice Siegel. My private channel, it's a video like this, news, some reference, but there's always a musical part where I get to turn you on to something about why I think it's important, why I think something is critical. I may turn you on to something you never thought before. For example, you've got to understand Gino Vanelli's drummers. Not Gino Vanelli, Gino Vanelli's drummers. I mean, he's good too, but country that you've never thought before. Everything from Art Tatum to Ferlin Husky to name it. Just go down the list. Anyway, that's that. And also, I want to say something to our dear friends. They've been with us through thick and thin, and we're with them. MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel, get a free gift. Okay, you got that? Good. Now, what would you do if somebody actually talked to you about weather manipulation? This is the biggest story, and people look at me like, what are you talking about? I want to know what's going on. Nobody dares talk about that. I want to know about what is being sprayed, how this can and cannot perhaps affect weather, what's going on. We have the right, believe me, we have the right. What other countries, not just us, by the way, not just us, but other countries as well. You don't think China is doing anything? China affects weather all the time. When they want it to rain, it rains. How do you think they do that? When you control the weather, you control everything. But it sounds far-fetched. It sounds crazy. It sounds like, what is he talking about? You better believe it. It's the most critical thing in the world. Number two, what's going on for the next pandemic? You know there's going to be one, right? You know there's going to be one, right? And they learned this time, didn't they? Oh, they learned. They learned. Get ready for the next one. Get ready. They are sitting back, and let me tell you something. How do you know as we speak the next, shall we say, catastrophe, the next oops moment, the next leak, the next whatever is not being done, is not being organized? You don't think that's possible? Come on, stop it. You don't think so? Shall I keep going? Let's talk about how stupid these ridiculous parties are. James Buckley was president, the brother of Bill Buckley, William F. Buckley, died. He was 100 years old, and he was a senator from New York. He was a carpetbagger, like Bobby Kennedy was, and like Hillary Clinton was. And he was the first, he won on the conservative ticket. He was the first third party since Bob LaFollette. Did you know that? Did you know that? Why do we have two parties? What do these parties have to do with me? Tell me, what am I? This is the biggest problem. What am I doing here? I'm hanging around Republicans. I hate these people. I can't stand these people. What is the matter? High and mighty, do nothings, know nothings, who actually were going crazy over Vic Ramaswamy and these 10 truths that were so lame because they mentioned God. It's childish. And there's 3 branches of government and not 4. And capitalism is the greatest thing in the world. What is this, for the Larry Kudlow group? Oh, Larry Kudlow's a good stuff, but it's like Larry Kudlow is like, harmless. Harmless. It's just like, okay. You people are going crazy. This Vic Ramaswamy, are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind? The number one threat to our society is AI and AGI. And guess what? Guess where he made his money from? Big tech. You think he's going to bring this up? Hell no. He's talking about God and Jesus and angels, and I don't give a damn about that. This is politics. Who owns this? Who's harnessing this? Do you know what this stuff can do? No, you don't, because nobody's ever told you about this yet. Nobody's told you yet about this. You have no idea what this is about. You have no idea. This is the thing. I can't. I try to explain this to people, and I try to make them kind of get it, but I don't. It doesn't work. It's not very effective for reasons I can't figure out. Nobody gets it. Nobody wants to get it. It's over their head. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Is he talking about it? No. Is anybody talking about it? That's the story. Let me see if I can explain this again to you. Let me see if we can do this again. And I know you understand this. Imagine remember Oppenheimer? That lasted a week. Remember that BS story about, oh, people were going crazy in the aisles. No, they weren't. What were they going crazy about? I don't know, but they're going crazy. About what? About, no, I don't. About what? What are they going crazy? What are you talking about? What was this? Remember this nonsense they told you? Because they wanted to get you in this. People went more crazy over Barbie than Oppenheimer. But here's the deal. Imagine I could make a nuclear bomb that could create other nuclear bombs. It writes its own code. Recursive self-improvement. shall I say anymore? I built a bomb, but it can make its own bomb. And it can increase the lethality of the bomb. And it can make millions of them. And it can immediately hook into other bomb makers that you know nothing about. So all of a sudden, there's all these bombs there. You don't know where they are. You don't know who's in charge. And you don't know who wants to detonate them because you have no sense of alignment. Alignment is where our morals are in sync with artificial intelligence and AGI, artificial general. That's really the scariest. 4 things they do. Recursive self-improvement. It writes its own code. Number 2, it knows human psychology, knows our likes and dislikes and passions and all that stuff. Number 3, it knows everything in the world, not just the internet, but everything. And number 4, it writes its own API or its own apps. That's it. It's over with. It's done. It's done. You can kiss it goodbye. And I can't get anybody, and nobody will even remotely discuss it. Tucker's not talking about it. Trump's not talking about it. Nobody's talking about it. I want to talk about it. I want to find out. I want to open up 9/11, all the warts, all the guts, I want to know everything so we don't do this again. And I want to make sure, did we learn from our mistakes that time? Did we learn from our mistakes? Did you know this? Did you know this? Did you know the names of the... Did you ever know or hear of all of the war games that were going on 9/11? Did you ever know this? Did you ever know this? Listen to this. This always blows people away. This is one thing that it never, let me see if I can get this for you. Let me see if I can get this for you. Just go through the names of this. It blows your mind. Oh, God. I can't find it. Vigilant Warrior, Amalgam Warrior, Amalgam 9/11, the Amalgam, this. They say, what? Remember the National Reconnaissance Office? Operation Tripod. I mean, it goes on and on and on and on. Anyway. You see what I'm doing? I'm tired of being the person who says all the time, why does anybody care about this? What is it that makes people want to care? What is it that makes people care about something? They say, well, that's really weird. Can they do that again? Mm-hmm. What have we learned from 9/11? What happens if, let's say, China, and I can always say it. All you have to do is say, well, what about China? China is the weirdest thing because China, I think, in many respects, is the most overlooked threat, but the most overstated and the most overdone. It's a weird duality. Is anybody talking about NATO? Is anybody talking about NATO? Vic Ramaswamy's not, because he's in bed with the shadow government, big tech, big money people. The military industrial complex, war profiteers, the big shots. Don't let anybody, believe me. They will let Vic say whatever he has to maybe cut into Trump, do something, and then they clobber him. You don't think Vic Ramaswamy is there to what? To win this thing? Are you kidding me? Come on. He's a child. It's a child. And these others they're just ridiculous. You want to go through the rest of these stories? We're going to be hitting issues and Trump, by the way, Trump's not handling all these. Trump's not handling all these at all. But he'll get closer to it. And that's why, believe it or not, that's why when we have the thing I like about Tucker Carlson, let me explain this to you. Imagine Tucker was around right. You know, when 1984 came out, when Eric Blair, George Orwell came out with 1984, it was at a time when really the notion of surveillance and intrusion and the like, really, it wasn't there yet. It wasn't really there yet. It was close to it. He was rather prescient, rather vatic, rather Pythonic, dare I say, but it wasn't really there. But it was so critical. Okay. At the time when he came out with this, people, they didn't understand. Well, what are you talking about? What is all this? What are you so paranoid about? What is all this stuff you're talking about with this? Whatever. Nobody gets it. People, their natural inclination is you worry too much. Don't worry about this. Had Tucker Carlson been around there, he would have gotten it. You've been lied to about UFOs. You've been lied to. You've been lied to. And you think it's not you. I shouldn't say. I forgive me for that. They think it's a joke. They think it's like, oh, come on. That's what you. We've been talking about this UFO stuff forever. It's part of the thing that we do. It's one of the wonderful mysteries that mankind has about, anybody out there, we all alone. We don't want to be alone. All this stuff. Ever since the time of Copernicus and Galileo, all of a sudden they started to say, "Hey, we're being visited." When Ptolemy ruled and the universe was geocentric, we thought, hey, everything was great. Then we just don't want to be. We have this idea that somehow there's this incredible sense of, I don't know what the word is. This sense of feeling lonely. This inferiority complex. So we're out there, this little pale blue dot, and things are too far away. And then you had Brian Cox. Hello. Brian Cox is all the time. No, we're probably not going to find anything. Listen, let me tell you something. Brian Cox, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Carl Sagan. By the way, thank God Bill Nye, the science dweeb, is gone. If you think these folks are going to risk everything, you watch what happens. If somebody says, oh, yeah, not only do we have evidence of intergalactic, extraterrestrial, whatever you want to call it, people visiting us. Oh, yeah, they're here. Big time here. Oh, yeah, they are here. Do you understand that? They're here. Big time. And there's been evidence of this since the beginning of time. If they say that, they can kiss, their magnetic card won't work at the Webb space thing or the Hubble or any Webb Hubble is interesting. Anyway, they're done. NASA clearances, CERN, any kind of colliders, they're through. They're through. You're going to be a gatekeeper. You go out and you even hint at this. You even so much as say, that is probably the number one, and people don't believe this. Stanton Friedman was correct. This was the Watergate of the millennium, he said then, but this is the one that will get you. Do you know what that means? Do you have anything? When that moment comes, let me just explain this to you, because many people, they don't understand. The moment that something lands or whenever that moment of, think of it as kind of like a singularity, whenever the moment hits, when all of a sudden people recognize and they say for the first time, they say, you know what? Yes, we believe this is one of them. And the first time we are ever allowed to see, for the first time. Now listen to what I'm saying. Where somebody says, okay, here it is. This is what you've been waiting for. Don't ask me how we're going to do this, but here it comes. And I don't want to do an or, because we don't know how these things travel in what particular form, if they're light. No, we don't want that. Forget the lights breaking up into different, no. I want you to see this. Bring in the ship, bring in something. Oh, I know what that is, because that's what you want. You want the Close Encounters and the Spielberg. Okay, fine. Bring it in. And we say, okay, everybody watching? Okay, can you hear it? No. Interesting. Where's the propulsion from? Where's the sound? This is what people have been talking. This is what Fife Symington's been talking about since day one, since the Phoenix Lights. This goes on forever. This is so documented. It's not even funny. No pictures though. I'm with you on that. Give me a picture. Anyway, when somebody says, "Oh, where's the picture of the where's the picture of the plane flying into the Pentagon?" Oh yeah, that's right. So we'll talk about pictures later. But anyway, so there's this thing, all right? And you see it. And then the moment you say, okay, folks, you ready? You got your eyes on it? When it does one of those, that's when you won't be able to talk. That's when you'll be able to say, whoa, think about this. Think about what I'm saying. The next day, what will that look? If somebody says, this ain't human, show them another one. Okay. Show them another one. And then have these Navy guys say, yep, that's the Tic Tac guy. That's it. Watch this. Ready? Pretty good. Stop on a dime. A right turn. Do you know what would happen? Think about this. Do you think they would just say, well, that's just a what? You saw it. I saw it. We all saw it. You think this is a conspiracy theory? Do you think we made this up? Do you have any idea of how this thing works? Do you have any idea of how this thing works? Dear God. It's going to be the biggest deal anybody has ever even remotely been able to see or understand. You understand what I'm saying? I don't think you can understand what this thing is. I don't think people understand what this is. This is something that's bigger than anything else, and nobody has even touched it, talked about it, it's always referred to in this silly, stupid little. It is going to blow people's minds. Then we say, who owns this? Who can do this? Anybody have any idea of this technology? Why do you think they're hiding it? Why? You think China's got it? Do we have it? You don't think, do you have it? I mean, provided we can reproduce it. Do you know what that does? It changes everything. Changes everything. You got that? You think anybody's talking about that? No, of course not. And I want a president who's going to say, we're going to have another hearing like the Russell Tribunal, and I'm going to tell you who killed John Kennedy. You don't think we know? I will bet you anything. Somewhere, somehow, we have names, shooters, stories about interesting people. There was this Mark is a what is his name? Oh God, Grubert is a good one, and there's another one, Eugenio or something. The level of information that is available to us right now, the level of information is so huge, so ungodly, so incredible. You can't believe what we know. What if I did this? Let me ask you something. Now think for a moment. Use your imagination. What if I showed you, if I said, okay, and I'm going to show you a picture. And you can look at him. But what if you saw a picture? First time I saw this guy's picture, and whether it's verified or not, it's subject to debate. But let's assume it is. Just imagine. If I said to you, do you know who this picture is? And you could have up Lucien Sarti. Look at him. That's Badge Man. Let's assume it is. Let's say, who? That's the guy who fired the bullet. He had the frangible bullet, the exploding bullet. This is Mr. Grassy Knoll. This is the badge man. This is the one they said, this is the one dressed as a cop. He was killed in Mexico City in 1972. He was used to doing it. This is the guy. Here's how they came in. They came in right through Dallas, right through Mexico. They came in. They stood there for a while. They waited. They all came out on that day. And then they all took off. And they waited. Safe houses, whatever. And about, I don't know, a week or so later, they went back through Mexico and Marseille, Corsica, all these very interesting foreign dudes. Bring in somebody who's foreign. Carlos Marcello. Look at all the, just look. What if you actually saw, this is how we did it. These are their names. This is where they were. This is how they shot. This is the name. This is it. What if you actually heard the names, the pictures? And then you found out we've known this. This has been not only filed, people have known this. But they kept this from you because you weren't worthy of knowing this. You weren't worthy of knowing this. Do you understand what I'm saying? You are just, who do you think you are? You don't get to know this. You don't get to find these things out. We tell you what to do. I would flip if I could see, honestly, if I could see the pictures of what these people look like. Seriously. I don't know what I would do. I want to know that. And if you're not going to tell me that, I don't want to vote for you for president. That's what I think. So let me do a recap. I want to know about weather manipulation. I want to have a 9/11. I want to find out about how we prevent. Are we safe today? Did we learn anything? Let's talk about that. What did we know? What didn't we know? How come George Bush didn't testify alone? Why do you have to sit on Cheney's lap? And I know I still. Where's Zelikow? And I haven't forgotten that. Okay, that's it. I want to find out what really happened regarding SARS-CoV-2. I want to find out about that. I want to find out about UFOs. I want to find out about everything. All this stuff that I find is fascinating. I want to find out this connection we have to NATO. I want to understand why in the name of God are we even doing this? What in the name of God are we doing? Why are we even involved in this? Why does Victoria Nuland, why does she have a stranglehold on this? What does she and the Kagans and the Institute for the Study of War and these war profiteers, these bellicose, what is the matter with us? What's next? Next, I want to get Vic Ramaswamy to say, what is this connection? I want somebody to sit there and say, I'm your president. Do you see this guy? Look at this creepy guy. This is Klaus Schwab. Let me tell you something. He doesn't own us. He doesn't tell us what to do. We tell him what to do. Who in the hell is Klaus Schwab? Who is the World Economic Forum? Who in the hell do these people, I'm telling you right now, we're tearing up every agreement we've ever made with them. And the UN while we're at it. This is the United States of America, and we don't kowtow to these people. They don't own us, and we don't follow them. It's over. Globalism is over. It's done. It's finished. I want a president to say that. I want Trump to say that. What are we waiting for? What are we doing? I'm going to put on Larry Kudlow so we can talk about the budget. Well, you know, the unemployment numbers are up. Oh, for God's sakes, what is going on here? I want to know the truth. And I want to sit down with President Trump. And I'm going to get Tucker to an extent. And I'm going to get Bobby. And I'm going to say, you want to make history? Do you want to be Einstein, the Beatles, Charlie Chaplin, the moving picture, penicillin? Do you want to blow this? Do you want to take American politics, which is like an encased, I don't know what you want to call it, this thing, and do you want to smash it into smithereens? Do you want to do that? You can do that. You want to make a name for yourself? I do. I'm telling you, this would be my thing. Vote for me. I'm the coolest candidate you'll ever see. I'm gonna answer questions you never knew you even knew before. What happened? Where did Vietnam come from? How did this happen? John Foster Dulles. Do we have that mentality before? Yeah, absolutely. Who's next? Why is Victoria Nuland running our foreign policy? Get her out of here. Boot her immediately. Boot her. Get out. Beat it. Anybody even mentions her name? Get out. I'm going to claw back all that money that went to UK. All of it. I want an audit. And I will prosecute anybody who basically, if that money does a 180 and comes right back to fill the line the pockets of some, I don't know, some big shot. And by the way, is Trump talking about this, or Vic Ramaswamy talking about it? When in the hell did we ever figure out a way to subvert the First Amendment by having the social media individuals acting as a proxy, where they get to shut down our particular free speech on direct orders by going to the most popular platforms that are responsible for shutting more people down? And nobody's talked about this. And one thing too, you can call it a no confidence. I want to have a meeting or something. I want to have if I could do this, I'd like to invite Jim Jordan and say, name one thing you've done, not one phony baloney hearing you've had. You and John Kennedy, you're terrific with that stuff. Oh, you're fantastic. What did Comer do? Nothing. What did you do regarding Biden? Nothing. Hunter, nothing. Miranda Devine, she's still thinking, Miranda, stop it. Well, I do have the laptop from hell. It's over. What are you talking about? Would you like to talk about? No, I don't want to talk about it because nothing's going to happen. They appointed Weiss to this? Come on. Well, the plea agreement blew up. They haven't charged him yet. The statute of limitations is going to run out. Come on. Get with the program. Oh, by the way, any word on the fingerprints or the DNA on that cocaine package? No. Stop it. They think you're stupid. Vic Ramaswamy. Did you believe this? I can't believe these people fall for this crap. Boy, he's pretty good. No, he sounds good. He's not saying anything. I want people to be terrified of us. I mean, terrified. Absolute term limits, everything limits. The last place you're going to ever want to go to make money is Washington. The last place. But what we need to do is we need to start now. This may, ready for this? Here's the bad news. It may take a generation of this. Are you ready to join this? Because let me tell you something. You have to suggest things on your own. You can't respond to what they're doing. Hey, Elon Musk wants to have a fight with Mark Zuckerberg. Who gives a f about that? I don't care. Why are you talking about it? Well, I mean, not you, them. I'm always lumping you into it. Forgive me. I don't mean you. You're good people. You mean well. But these people... And crime? Did Vic Ramaswamy talk about crime with his 10 truths? No. I want somebody who will make RoboCop look like, oh, you don't know what I want to say. Oh, if you are law-abiding, just watch what happens. Tonight we're walking, and there's an encampment. There are these people. This one guy, he didn't recognize me. This is a guy I was arguing with the other day. And they're sitting there with their needles. Did you check out today's New York Post? They're walking around with needles in their neck, in their arm. What the hell's going on here? I would pick them up and say, you can't do this. You pose a threat. You are a threat. Kind of like in the old days, people who didn't wear a mask. You know what I mean? Kind of like that. This is even more serious. You're putting needles in your syphilitic, AIDS-infested bodies. You're throwing them around. Some kid could step on them or somebody else. It's summertime. People wear sandals. And I'm going to pick your ass up, and we're going to put you in a van, and we're going to take you to a mandatory place where you can sit there and you can gas yourself to death. I don't care. Not in front of anybody. Try me. I'm going to pick you up. I'm going to move you. And I'm going to say, hello, I'm your mayor, governor, whatever. If you see somebody shooting drugs, call this number, text me at whatever, tell me where they are. We'll be there in 10 minutes. Promise. Or get your money back. Wait till they say, hey, did you hear what happened to Jerry? I don't know. Well, I don't know. He was there and there's those trucks again. Run. I think we better either go inside. I don't care whether you use drugs. Go inside. Go someplace else. I'm going to cart your ass in the it's going to be a big field and you're not going to get out. And we'll give you all the treatment you want. You're not going to go out and do that. Think of it like a mask. Think of it like COVID. You remember, we have 6 foot, whatever. We're going to have 6 foot, but you're going to be 6 miles or counties away from us. I'm tired of this. Oh, I'm tired of this. Every time somebody gets hit, every time we have, oh my God, we will have the broken windows policy like on steroids. And you're going to be able to see every week how many people we locked up. See this guy? He had a warrant for his arrest. 4 sexual assaults, armed robbery, habitual felony offender, pack him away for life. This guy's gone. Next one, gone. We used to be noticing them. You notice them as a habitual felony offender. 3 times you're out. Call it whatever you want. You're done. You're out. You're finished. Life, gone. See ya. Next. Probation for first-time offenders? Of course. Love it. Of course. This, done. Did Vic Ramaswamy talk about that? No. Child predation? Child trafficking? I told you I had this idiot the other day in a meeting say, well, this is a conspiracy theory. He brought up, I swear to God, Pizzagate. What generation? What are you talking about? Well, that's Jim Caviezel. He was big. Excuse me. Forget Jim Caviezel. Do you have a problem with highlighting and showcasing and making people aware of the fact of this thing called human trafficking? Well, I don't care. Shut up. Shut up. That's my thing. Hashtag shut up and hashtag so what? And anybody in any school, any function decides to allow grown men to compete, you're going to lose every federal, whatever you get coming from us, it's gone. It's gone. You want to walk around, you want to call yourself Brunhilde, you want to wear a fright wig and call yourself Maxine, I couldn't care less. But if you expect to be on the federal dole and comply with Title IX or whatever, you're not going to do this. That train has run. And Rachel Levine, you can talk anything you want about egg supply. You're not going to do that to kids. We're not going to do that. We are not going to do that because if you do, I promise you, under my administration, we will cut stuff off that's an interesting phrase, that you never even thought was possible. It's over. It's done. Don't you understand what I've just been through? I just gave you 10 things. And I didn't mention one of those stupid Vic Ramaswamy nothing promises. I want stuff that makes sense. I want you as a voter to say, oh, this is going to be good. This guy's great. Watch this. Look what he did. First things first. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do something that everybody has seen. And all of a sudden, it's so easy. After I claw back half or not all of the money that went to Ukraine, all of a sudden, what's that noise? They're building the wall. We're going to call it the Trump wall. Come on in. Oh, we're going to have drones and dogs and barbed wire and lights and, oh my God. In Israel, they have this thing I saw. They have this, it's this area that's, they have detectors. And they have this thing where they smooth out this, gravel or whatever it is. So anybody who walks, you can see that the footprints and all this stuff. Cameras like you wouldn't believe of electric sensors. And if there's a breach or one of these, whatever, granted it's smaller, but still, they had these, they look like doom buggies, but that's a terrible word. That it was like on a rocket sled. I don't know the engine this thing had. It came out of nowhere like a bat out of hell and just, I mean, what was that? That was their response team to any breach. It was something. By the way, this was at a time when they had suicide bombers, and they called them suiciders in Tel Aviv. They had them in every place. So not anymore. They were gone. They just said, that's it. No, we're going to put up a fence. They call it a wall. It's a fence. No. No more. People said, well, that's inhumane. That's fine. No more. None. And they also had these people who were sitting outside. If you tried to get into it, every place you went, there was somebody who looked at you, and they were all armed, and, why are you wearing a sweater and it's dark, whatever. So the same thing goes for people at borders who say, what are you doing? Who are you? Why are you coming? Where are you from? Hold it. Stop. Try going to something. I can tell you where and show you where all of the illegals are. They're very nice people. I don't mind them. That's not the point. But the children, young people, they all have new shoes, new backpacks, and new devices. I guess they have free monthly, whatever. And they're over here and they're walking around. And now in any other country, little kids, you would stop and say, who are you? Where are you? Where are you from? What? Where are you from? Who are you? What do you mean, who am I? Who are you? Where's your mother? Where's your mommy? I'm on a company. Oh, no. We don't have on a company. No, we don't do that. Homie, don't play that game. No. And you have to see, and the news will see this when you see people getting on planes and being shipped out en masse. Because the word's got to get out. Because you see, if they don't understand this. Now, if you want to come back in, come on in. Nobody comes in, just says, here I am. $10,000 a month for illegals in New York. $40,000 for a household. A month. That's over with. And when they ask, why are they here? And when Tucker tried to do this replacement theory, they said, okay, he mentioned replacement theory. Okay, everybody open to paragraph 5 of your booklet, hit him with you're a racist. They saw it's all worked out. All of a sudden, he's attacked with. Because here's the deal. Come on in. Remember, you're going to vote Democrat, okay? Do maybe an iris scan. We know who you are. Or better yet, you are going to move to Duluth, Minnesota. Why? Well, we're going to be doing some gerrymandering, and the census is coming up, and we want to have a permanent Democratic Party. And you and your family are going to go, okay, we'll go. It's a little cold there, but you'll like it. You're going to go to Duluth, and that's where you're going to stay. You got that? And you're going to vote. What was it? Democrat. Thank you. You go over there. Thank you. Here's some money. Go over there. Then they're going to bring in Puerto Rico. They're going to bring in, I don't know about Puerto Rico, but DC is going to be a state. They're going to kill the filibuster, and they're going to pack the Supreme Court, and that's it. And this is a plan we know about. Everybody knows about. Stop pretending it doesn't exist. Do you have any doubt as to what's happening here? Do you doubt? Do you disagree with anything I've said? Please, I can take it. Do you disagree with what I've said? Anybody? Does anybody disagree with what I've said? Anybody? Anybody? Anybody at all? And the only way this stops is if there is a drastic change in terms of the people in charge and who's, whatever it is. This is beyond critical. You know what else is critical? I need 300 likes. I need 300 likes. It's true. And you can help me with that. That's important. That's critical, my friends. That's critical. And also, I hope it's you've already done this. I hope you've already subscribed to this channel. I think you know that. Now we know this. What I'm telling you is obvious. But I don't think anybody really figured, can we do all that? Yes, you can do all that. Yes. But you got to get the right people in. And all of this is for naught unless you want to go on the Larry Kudlow show and talk to Vic Ramaswamy. Or maybe you can talk to one of your other, maybe Jordan Peterson can talk about lobsters and standing up straight or whatever, or some other nonsense waste of time. Or we can go on some comic show. We can go on, you want to do that? We can do that. That's always good. We can go on a podcast, some comic, and we can say the F word every 5 seconds and somehow substitute that for anything meaningful. We can do that. It's up to you. You tell me if you want to do that. Knock yourself out. I want change. I want change now. I want it to happen now. You understand what I'm saying? I want things to change now. Time's up. I've had enough of this. I'm over it. I'm done. Drastic. Maybe you put it all down as some kind of a manifesto for you. I can send it to you. You can say, here, you repeat this. Tell people what you want. And the first person I'm going to bring is bring Jim Jordan, bring his ass in front of the world and say, now tell me again what you've done. Tell me. Take all the time in the world. This is going to be good. Tell me what you've accomplished. What have you done? What? By the way, anybody impeached Biden yet? Any articles? They keep talking about this. Marjorie Taylor Greene, they spooked her. Where's she? Remember Boebert? Remember the big mouth? She wants to wear the carry, but where's she? I don't know. Where's Bobby Kennedy? Where's Mr. Big Shot, Mr. Push-Ups, Mr. Look at Me, and Mr. Sexy? Ooh, look at me. I'm doing push-ups. What's going on here? What the hell is it? He spooked, so I'm not an anti-Semite. Okay, I gotta tell you why I'm not an anti-Semite. What? You're gonna let people tell you that? So they're gonna call you a racist? You're gonna pick up the phone because you can help me and make sure I'm not a racist. Why don't you just tell people, blow it out your arse, and I'm gonna continue? What are they gonna do? What? Don't answer them. They're basically detailing your position. What's going on here? Does anybody know how to run a country? I don't understand it. Now that's that. And the best one to do this out of everybody, Trump. He's the best. Right? You got that? That's right. This guy, Trump. Look at that. Look at that face. Look at that. Look at that punum. Look at that. Trump. This guy. Yep. Trump guy. Crazy. Yep. Crazy like a fox. He tweets too much. Yep. Tweet your ass off. I don't care. Go ahead. Go nuts. Go for broke. Remember, you're a lame duck. And I want you to do it especially. You know what? Indict them some more. Indict this. That should be our thing. Indict this. I got your indictment right here. Indict this. Grab yourself. Right here. Indict me. I don't care. What are you going to make it 5, 10, 15? Every time you do it, my numbers go up. And don't you ever go on Fox News. Ever. Listen to me. If I hear you're on Fox News, you'll have hell to pay. You understand that? Okay, I won't. You better believe it. They're the enemy. They're the enemy. Same thing goes for Newsmax and those other loser stations. No. Who are you going to talk to? People who are undecided, independents. You're going to use this. You're going to create. Look what Tucker did, and don't be dependent on Twitter or X, whatever, because they can pull your chain. You use your own. Why don't you do the same thing for Truth Social that Tucker does for whatever? You own that. Well, do it. Start doing. You're a great talker. Start talking, but stop it. Don't just do it. Look at this. Silver Fox says, Lionel, whom do you think Trump will select as his VP? Well, I hope to God it's not that Kerry Lake. I hope it's not Tim Scott. I hope it's not, I don't know. It should be Tucker. Thank you, my friend. It should be Tucker. People think, are you crazy? No, I know exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, that would be something. He knows. Not to mention, we need somebody to change everything there. Kerry Lake wants to be a beauty queen. Tim Scott wants to talk about, oh my God. And quit anybody who talks too much about God and Jesus and the fact that you had your election screw. No, you got to talk about at least, you know how they say, pick a new password. It must be 8 to 20 characters, and you must use the following special characters. Well, my thing is, if you want to run, you got to talk about one of these, no, 2 or 3 of these issues. I mentioned this before. Weaponization of weather, who killed JFK, stuff that I like. People would really like some. What? I can't find. You don't think who killed a president? You don't think what happens on 9/11? You don't think about COVID? You don't think you don't think and who in the hell is Victoria Nuland? You don't think that's relevant? What are you gonna do? What? Do the best of Larry Kudlow? I keep picking on Larry Kudlow. Larry Kudlow's such a nice guy. Tonight we're gonna talk about no, Larry. No, we're not. No. We're tired of it. He's boring. You can't talk about anything good. Anything good. Well, let's go with Steve Ducey and Peter Ducey. What about you, Peter? Well, we talked to the president. Are you going to go to Hawaii? And he said no comment again. Oh, be doggone. You're kidding me, right? Look, Pops is going to be gone before you know it. Forget it. Move on. Ignore him. They're going to go after, I'm telling you, they're going to get Gavin Newsom. And this is where somebody's got to wake Bobby up, smack some sense into him and say, go after or start attacking Gavin. What's the matter with you? Okay, you've heard. By the way, do me a favor. Who killed JFK? Would you do me a favor? The CIA and central banks. Get out of here. That doesn't help me. The CIA did. They've been, what are you, Mark Lane? You're repeating this trope, this meme? Well, it was because of the fact that he was going to shatter the CIA into 1,000 pieces. I need specifics. Quit coming up with the CIA did it. No, you can't prove that. They're going to say, no, we didn't. Is this the best you can do? The CIA did it? Central banks? Central banks? What? Have you not read anything? Do you not seriously? Have you heard the connection between Tippett and Oswald? And what happened if they'd have gotten JFK in, let's say, Tampa or Miami or Chicago? What would have happened to Oswald then? Central banks. Oh, for the love of God. We need some new material here, my friends. I know this sounds good. It sounds great. It sounds terrific. I was like, direct energy weapons. Stop it. And by the way, we gotta cull and get rid of some of the hurt. We have some folks in our, no names mentioned, in our neck of the woods who keep repeating this nonsense over and over and over. They're the worst. They talk about this spooky, and we have to get into the new world order. Okay, that's great. What are you, Alex Jones, 2000? 20 years too late? We need to kind of beef it up. It's a little bit more than that. And by the way, if you've devoted no attention whatsoever to the Kennedy assassination, if you've spent no time, if you thought it was wise for you to miss this, do not repeat bumper sticker tropes about the CIA. That doesn't answer the question. That doesn't even come close to it. Well, it's as good as I can get. Well, then it's not good enough. That's not what we're talking about here. Don't be like everyone else. If you don't know anything about it, do yourself. Do some research. Load up. Plenty of stuff to read here. Plenty of stuff. That's amazing. And 9/11, oh my God. Don't even start with that one. I don't think people know anything about it. I don't think they know anything about anything. All right, friends. You are terrific. God bless you. And I mean that sincerely. You are terrific. I'm serious about this, as you can tell. So make sure you subscribe to Lionel Nation on YouTube, my friends. Also, like this video, subscribe to the video. Please hit the YouTube notification bell to be notified of live streams and the like. Also, go to lionelmedia.com to subscribe to my uncensored and culturally inappropriate private channel for the good stuff. The good stuff. And also follow Lynn's Warriors on X, or Twitter as I call it, and Lynn's Warriors on YouTube as well. And don't forget our good friends at MyPillow, mypillow.com, the greatest people. They're so terrific. They help us, and they're so great and wonderful. And they have supported us. And Mike Lindell, remember, he's still standing. Oh, was it the rumors of his death are a tad premature? Yep. And one more thing, as I told you before, if you want to get the good stuff, if you want to learn about music, if you want me to turn you on to some wild stuff that, frankly, other people are not going to let you hear, go right here to that column right there. Let me thank you for that. Remember, my friends, I want you to go out there and I want you to learn. I want you to be unique, and I want you to say new things with new people. And I want you not to refer to, and please do not use the same old tropes. Do not use the same stuff that everybody's been talking about. Do not do this. Think new, think different, think from square one, okay? And hold these people accountable. Don't repeat the same stuff other people say. Doesn't do anybody any good. Be unique, be bold, be different, and be dangerous. All right, dear friends, we'll see you tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Thank you so much for not only who you are, but what you appear to be. And until then, remember these wonderful words, this valedictory, this sayonara, this adios. The monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Da-da.